All right. So the personas versus reality seem to be the topic. Let's see what happens. The spider's web of the social construct. We are continuously navigating information, how we can elevate, enhance our uh, state of being or our life here. This is the purpose, but the key word is we are never responsible to maintain the status quo with the different information, different awareness. Uh, we can change our thoughts. There is no rule. This is the actual reality. This is the most definite outcome. This is the definite thoughts. This is the way it should be. It's never permanent. So we navigate. When you say uh, the spider's web of social construct, now I no longer even view the political structure as a dualistic nature. It's one party seem to be the way out there into the most superficial existence. The other is somewhat closer to the reality or grounding stationary factors, maybe. Let's see if we can navigate and see the contrast between these kind of a spider's web of social structures and how while we are experiencing, we are uh, uh, releasing the karmic baggage while healing inner child trauma or the ancestral trauma body. We are releasing because we have a clarity and awareness to the individual lives. This is what grounding position is all about. Now, when we discuss about the low vibrational, these circumstances may be not directly affecting all of us, but it's never hurt us to have a larger awareness and see the contrast between these kind of social structures and how we can benefit, because we are constantly looking for a saviors and somebody's going to look after our best interest and do the right thing. But without our awareness, without our acknowledgement, we are really not equipped to know the difference. Perfect example. We know we want to make sure that everyone receive the maximum comfort. It could be through within the families. If you have a level of trauma bonding, people could support and encourage you to have the maximum comfort in your life. But it's never match the external comfort, meaning the materialistic comfort, the basic necessities, the shelter, the food, clothing, act. Um, but we always lean towards what we are in reality, what is the honesty regarding our existence. This is why the people would have extremely a wealthy style of life in a really nice home and with a nice family, but you can still have individuals going down the self-destructive patterns like addiction, like all kinds of depression, anxiety disorders in silent, because we are always here in this class, the planet Earth, Mother Gaia system. We are in different classes. This is why we see them in a social structure. We have these divisions where Far East and Africa, where like we are putting ourselves into a category. Um, um, in the superficial categories, but within our own inner struggles we can and then also we have the multicultural migration systems also available for us. So we have a lot of options to find the maximum comfort, the maximum awareness, maximum clarity. If you really shift and be comfortable with changing our perspectives. This is I think it makes sense. For me, it does. But let's see if we can unpack these systems, the spider's web. Now, perfect example, just because we aren't experiencing these circumstances doesn't mean it's not happening in parallel. Like in different places, we have poverty struck nations or social structures. So the people are continuously looking for way out of this. We always think the answers are elsewhere, so they migrate into these different Mid East or some other region, because we really have to experience them to know the difference, have a clarity, and really come to terms with the fact we can really change our circumstances by shifting our awareness and have a clarity, because we're working our own stuff in our own level of awareness. So we migrate. So we have poverty struck nations. We are sort of in desperation. We find no solutions. We will migrate into these other places that seems like a dream, but the contrast between these circumstances are like you're hoping to find relief, comfort by um, signing up to experience what is the characteristics of the level of poverty or the shame, sort of very low vibrational parts of ourselves. So when we go into these places, I see sometimes online the housekeepers or domestic workforce in elsewhere go through a lot of abuse and sort of really disheartening, even hard to watch that even online, the level of abuse that we've gone through. But the perfect example is because your circumstances from where you initiate these kind of social experiences, now you are experiencing the heightened characteristic of your position, meaning you are extremely, now I hear some people take their passport, they abuse them, they burn them, they throw water, don't give you appropriate salaries, they don't respect your wanting to have a meal in peace, they will always make you continuously carrying on this burden of maintenance of this ecosystem now. Heavy labor, heavy abuse, heavy isolation, heavy hostility, micromanagement, all of these factors include in these expressions. So your people always says, my goodness, I really need my passport, I really want to go back, I can't handle this. So they can come to realization the home where they were in desperate situations much better than the outcome from seeking external comfort, because we were in desperate position, but we go out to look for ways so we can overcome your desperate circumstances. But it's a dead end there, because what you see is the gluttony, the parasitic, the obesity, poor health, extreme level of disconnection, extreme level of hostility and abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, domestic issues, and never have boundaries are real big issues, and abusing a position of authority. This is where you confront with. Mind you, you will hear good stories too. It's really never really black and white like this, and never absolute worst case scenario. There is a hopefulness there too sometimes. These things all happen in the spider's web, so we can gain the clarity and awareness and sort of go internal and do some of the inner work, because there is no alternative. But more fancier countries with a lot of options, the G7 or the Western world, seem to have a lot more options and are protected. There is a layers of safety there. But when you really look into layers, there is a whole lot of areas we can really stay focused and do some inner work. Even though we have a lot of options, we are getting now it is your own participation that get you into a stationary position. You have no way out. On the surface, you feel like you have a lot of options. You have credit cards, you have the freedom to choose and go wherever you want to go. The employment is not the end game. You seem to have a lot of options. But now we're in a circumstances, now we have created the level of toxicity for ourselves, because we are going into deficit. We are living way beyond our means. We aren't really paying attention. You get swept away by unlimited possibilities to a dead end. This is why it's really important for us to navigate the matrix system with the caution. We can't really, one thing about me at initiate, when we, the beginning, you just sort of feel pity for yourself for a few minutes, but lately I found out sometimes you really need to go through these experiences so you can have a different awareness. So we can't really hate the experience and have a hostility and animosity towards that while you're learning this 3D system and how to create maximum comfort for you, while it is your life, it is your responsibility. It's no one else out there is obligated to carry you forward. It is your personal responsibility. So we get this much awareness or clarity. I am not saying I am perfect and this is my way is a highway. It is just a different perspective. These are the key words. So with the this constant bickering about the political structure, we have forgotten we have all the powers. If they are going to maximize the inflation, the work, and trying to squeeze the life out of you, it's our personal responsibility to protect our own energy by making a clear assessment. Now, maintaining personas is extremely trying circumstances. We learned this when we were suffering from depression. We were feel so helpless and maybe even a little bit of sadness. Um, we learned during these times you can change your circumstances anytime you want, because our desires, our wants, our needs, they have a very clear contrast. um, Even if we're living within our means, prioritizing our own healing, our own comfort, instead of really relying on 100 different options we have out there. Because perfect example we see, like if you have a high traffic household, uh, 5, 6, 7 individuals living within a family, everyone is busy doing something out there, going somewhere with the suitcase and have all these responsibilities. What we are paying attention is what's keeping you safe, your home. Your home is taken over by the clutter and untidy and extremely unpleasant place to be in. This is accurate because we're busy out there doing things, ignoring and neglecting our personal space, teamwork. The healthy meals is not an optional thing anymore, although we have a lot of poisons and chemicals add on to it. They never happen overnight. Systemically, people aren't prioritizing nurturing, fueling yourself properly, so that we have 100 different options of fast food, fast pace, fast. Everything is like unknown and maybe like a chemical cocktail, but we were willingly, happily contributing to these kind of systems, neglecting very maybe is a very affordable options, fibers and some kind of a lively food, because any kind of lively thing is much better than some kind of a toxic cocktail from easy, fast, and expensive out there. So this is how you prioritize. We are trying to maintain a persona, but we are really not paying attention. When it comes to our health, it's the same thing. We aren't really be proactive and figuring things out, looking for a source. Where is all this coming from? How does it start? Because these things never happen overnight. It happens gradually, but it's much easier to go and see someone and try to have some kind of a easy fix. But it's never without the side effects. It's never without consequences. This is how another persona versus reality. You are the one who is feeling it. You are the one who is living it. You have to bear the consequences. So they have a whole system is created for the ill health, poor health, maintaining extreme level of stationary sicknesses now, and it's extremely toxic uh, place or space to be in, unbearable, humiliating, so uncomfortable. And these things happen gradually. Now, we see in the external world now, everything is a program, right? We hear in the fancy world, you hear MK Ultra, the manipulation, the programming, gaslighting, all of these words we hear. But when I talk about previously, this is what the MK Ultra look like for everyday citizen, because the system tells you, hey, go look for opportunities elsewhere, be a domestic worker, be another worker, be some kind of professional administrative employee. Go out there. Now they pull you off your place, your spot, because we are so fascinated by the unknown factors and looking for. This is what MK Ultra means for the everyday citizen throughout the world, because we always want to have evidence, because they're not really going to tell you, hey, this is MK Ultra, so this is mind programming, this is what human trafficking is all about. So these things happen in parallel, unsuspectingly, but we are kind of willing participant. In the fancy world here, the young women and they go through different layers of MK Ultra. Like some of them had no choice, but you hear lately about these trafficking things. Hopefully the bosses who are overlooking these factors, trying to clean up, will do a good job. But it doesn't stop us to look for some kind of clarity and solutions, how we can protect ourselves and how we can stay connected to the source and have awareness what is happening around us. Because it's also a personal responsibility. It's really nice if somebody come and fix everything and have a perfect life for all this humanity. There's no corruption, there is no hostility or gaslighting anymore, because someone is taking a leadership and initiative to look after these things. So it's a possibility, it's in the work, and it's a hopefulness, it may be, but nevertheless, if we are empowered within our own self, we have a level of awareness what's to look for, especially protecting our own energies, is the vital part. This is doing our own part, because we are participating on our own improvement and empowerment of our vessel, because we have awareness, we know what to look for, we know how to red flags situations, right? So this is how we overcome these kind of personas and what's on the reality. Same thing when we were younger, we put all this makeup in your face. More stuff you put is more problems happen, like the pimples and that. But because you were so uncomfortable to go out, because you want to look your best, but when you come home, you wash your face and you're like, wow, this is where we're at. When you come into this, it's really you have a hard time to comprehend. But now there's not even the moisturizer. It just happened. You are really confident about your own self. You want to impress the world, but you want to impress you more, because you're really not comfortable putting any kind of toxic layers. The cream says it's a cucumber, but it's like a whole lot of chemical cocktail. It's better to just put a cucumber, much cheaper and like a couple of dollars. So this is how we navigate the contrast between different scenarios. So the other thing is this, the people are like, I really don't like to even use names or single out people, because you have a level of compassion and empathy for every condition, right? Even though your is not compatible with your energy, your beliefs, your way, how you look at the world, it's really not compatible. But it doesn't mean it's somebody else's um persona. So we have a lot of deception in areas. We have confusion regarding our expression. We think that's a women, this is men, but we have a confusing roles that we have personify, and we just want to uh, pretend we are something that we are not. It's a level of confusion, layers of confusion there. But it's what you know about yourself is the most important thing, right? It doesn't really matter what other people think. People think, oh wow, what a beautiful woman, or what a beautiful man, or something in between. It doesn't really matter. The perception is a persona. But when you take off all the things, they are really great makeup artists, um, very creative. But when you take all these things off, how will you feel? Uh, who you trying to impress, or impress? And the other word I'm looking for is fool another person, because we're all about protecting the privacy of people. We have to work on our own selves. We don't want everything that is so painful and difficult things that we go through, because everybody's life comes with a lot of challenges. It seems like a normal part of being a human here. Um, so we want people to create these spaces where your privacy is protected. But the difference, the contrast between these scenarios is when you start exploiting other people for your benefit, when your behaviors affect larger communities and a population, and they are now deceitful, they are promoting something that is not accurate in the base. So this is how we run into problem territory. It's one thing to uh, go within and find some solutions to our own level of toxicity, own level of trauma body and pain body, and find these solutions. But when we expand our own level of low vibrational parts into larger groups, and it affects people, and this is where the bosses had to come and clean these areas up, because this is now toxic breeding ground for a whole lot of toxicity. So this is what cleanup operations are all about. Even in your own little space, you see nothing really changes, but the dust is building up. If you don't clean at least every other day, it's just it becomes so um, unclean, untidy. And when you clean up, tidy up, dust and swing the vacuum around, it's a huge difference. You feel so much happier, and it's a healthier environment. So we know the contrast between these things. Now, if you go and protest out there, and your home is full of clutter, you haven't had a meal in a properly home cooked meal in ages, and your sink is full and stuff everywhere, dog hair, everything, and you're neglecting what is the most important part, and you're going out there and promoting something unknownly, like to out there, and so you are not protecting your energy this way. Same thing with with our monetary situation. Going back to basics is the best way. Me personally, I don't like to deal with a lot of these things. I'm thinking and very respectfully, right? People do what they do, but I'm like, wow, look at the state of you, and you're trying to sell something, and the deceits and desperation and everything in everything is included into this vessel. But and guess what? I'm just gonna minimize my circumstances. I'm just going to prioritize my energy, how I spend it, because I have this option, because I have this awareness. This is how. So then, if you are very clear about your position, you really don't care if they have 200 organizations that is going to sell you moon and the stars. You're very clear about where you stand. You clear about your energy. You clear about how you want to spend it. If you have a little bit of extra resources, you just use that for your own comfortable living. And for example, if you're forced to make a choice between protecting yourself and sacrificing to be a lab rat, you say, wow, no, I'm going to be choosing myself. So you have a little bit of a little few dollars grant, so you can have that time for yourself. This is how you protect your energy. So it's never wasteful thing. It doesn't matter if you have a little bit of extra uh, energies or resources, you can um, use that to advance your comfort. And there is a difference. Instead of go waste your energies for a couple of weeks vacation, you're prioritizing your comfort at home, and you will have a time. So this is how, when the inflation goes up, the living expenses goes up, we are really double down on where we're going to spend our energies. Usually you're not able to go and shop online every day and buy useless things because you want it. It's not your needs. Going to a farm and a few ingredients versus buying something that you don't really can eat. So we have to make prioritize these things. And this is how we are maintaining what is reality and what is persona. So to maintain a persona really takes a toll on you. It's extremely trying. It's a difficult position to be. It's take so much energies out of your mind, body, spirit vessel. Instead, we are choosing what is the reality, which is true for your families. You think we have a lot of family support. We think we have a lot of friends and support, and we find comfort. But when we realize you don't really have anyone or any support system, unless it's your immediate family that you created, um, you are very close to maintaining that. Instead, we are recognizing what is really good for you. We recognize good people, good individuals, like toxic femininity. If they have a provider and support the children, we are really um, going to destroy that comfort for the young generation because we feel like we fell out of love, or oh, I don't feel some minor issues. We see this in our social structure often because level of comfort can't comprehend because we are uncomfortable inside. This is how we have to navigate life. And I think we'll come up with another topic and speak about the same thing repetitively soon.